And welcome to the Part-Time Nerd Podcast with me, your host, Alan. And joining me is Mr. Professor Dave. How are you doing, buddy?
Doing fantastic. I love it when there's no intro music. We just get right down to it, baby.
Just diving into it. I pushed the button. It didn't happen. I said, you know what? Screw it. Let's just go. Go, 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 go. All teams go. Here we are. This is my first time watching the Harry Potter movies. We are on movie number 3, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, the 2004 release. Um, First things first. The movie starts off with this deviant breaking the rules. I don't know what it is, but this guy can't follow a rule to save his life. Why is he the hero of the story? Because all he does is break the rules. That's it.
You gonna say who it is? Go ahead and say his
Harry,
name.
Harry,
There you
Harry, Harry Potter.
go. Oh
This
my
dude can't follow a rule to save his life. Like, are you supposed to be doing magic outside of Hogwarts? No. What is he doing? Magic outside of Hogwarts.
Most kids are pretty rebellious. They kind of do what they want to do. I mean, no one's kid listens and
I
obeys
can see
all
this.
rules. It's so. Did you already mention the name of the movie? Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban.
Yes,
That's the
which
name.
I
I
was
thought you said Harry
disappointed
Potter 3.
because I thought this might have been like a little bit of a flashback to Hedrig's time in Azkaban during the last movie, but it wasn't. It had nothing to do with that. So
No. It's definitely it's centered around Sirius Black. You find out later that it's Harry's godfather.
yes,
Godfather. He's labeled as the killer. He's the one that killed Harry's parents, mom and dad, and whatnot. But
no, he
you
didn't
find
kill
out,
them. He told
told him where.
Voldemort, led Voldemort to them, is what he's labeled at. He
There you
killed
go. Yeah.
Peter Pettigrew.
Betrayed him, killed Peter Pettigrew. Pettigrew is labeled as like their best friend and all that kind of stuff. So essentially, the whole story was, you find out at the end, the whole story is actually false and it's reversed. He is their best friend. He loved James and whatever his mother's name, Lily, excuse me, and was their best friend and is the godfather of Harry Potter and whatnot. The whole movie I thought was great. You get these movies are starting to progress and they're getting a little bit, they're not so childish anymore, and these kids are always in danger. I don't know. I mean, this is the worst place in the world for your kid to be, I guess, because there's always a killer or somebody on the loose. The dementors are out running around sucking the faces off everybody.
None of this
but
happened until Harry came to school, though. Like,
but for real, like the stories are going to start getting even more interesting. They're going to get you in the feels every so often and whatnot. I mean, overall, what did you think of the movie?
overall, it wasn't bad. It wasn't a bad movie. It was all right. It's they've each gotten better. I'll say that. Each movie has gotten better. Um, but I'm telling you, so Harry, he's breaking the rules. But then what does he do after that? He continues to break the rules. He gets mad at his uncle's sister
Yeah.
and attempts to murder her. That's
He
attempted
just
murder.
It's not attempted murder. He
How is that
loses
not attempted
control, and
murder?
I think it's just the emotion. Something happened. Obviously he didn't cast a spell or whatever. It just something happened, and she blows up. But she's
His
gets
uncle said,
bouncing around.
"Fix it, fix this." He goes, "No, I'm not doing it."
She's floating away.
Right. That's attempted murder, sir. Okay.
Jesus.
And Harry, so he does that, and then he runs away from home. He's like, "I'm done with this place," and he leaves. And then crap gets all weird, and there's some creepy dog, like out of Never-Ending Story, out in the background. You find out later this is serious, but yeah, that's what that reminded me of that creepy like wolf guy from the Never-Ending Story movies. He's
Mm.
just kind of sitting there lurking. But yeah, uh, the night bus was pretty crazy.
I got all my notes written down, and they're 4.5 feet away. But yeah, I mentioned the bus because the bus is awesome. Like it's hilarious, and I think he's got some moves. Ern could be one of the best characters. He's whenever he comes to a stop, he takes a nap. He just head down on the horn, on the thing. You go, all right, ready to go, moving along. Ern wakes up, takes a bite out of the sandwich, and hammers down.
Yeah, and then I thought for a second maybe the movie did a crossover with Lord of the Rings when the Dementors show up. I was like, oh, those are the guys from Lord of the Rings. Um, and then you get Hedwig. He becomes a professor, which lasted all of a day. It took him a whole day to screw that one up. Um,
God. Are you not excited that you get the great Gary Oldman in this one?
I love Gary Oldman.
You get
I
him as Sirius, and then not to mention, you get a new Dumbledore. I don't know if you
was that
noticed that.
okay? I thought it was, but I wasn't positive.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
He finishes out the movies just like, or as he goes along. So you're not gonna have another Dumbledore until the prequels come out, and then I think Jude Law plays him, which he does a great job as well. But yeah, you get a new Dumbledore. Here's my one thing. As the movie's going on, I enjoy it quite a bit. We realize that Malfoy's a complete P. He's
oh,
the biggest chump there is. I'm trying to think about what else, but who gives a 13-year-old a time traveling device?
oh no, they gave it to her when she was 11. I thought
She's
because
at
she said
first
she got
term
right.
for
So
McGonagall. Well, it was that year, first term of that year.
okay, because she just starts showing up out of nowhere,
Yeah.
and it was freaking out Ron. Ron's like, "What the?"
He's the
Like,
only one that notices. Everybody else is like play it cool, but Ron always notices when
yeah.
something's out of place for some weird reason.
Well, he notices Hermione because let me tell you, you could cut the sexual tension with a knife in this movie between these two. Let me tell you,
Between Ron and
and
Hermione?
yeah, oh yeah, man,
Okay. All right.
it, it it was huge, it was big, it was there, it was awkward sometimes.
So you're feeling
Um,
it come a little bit closer to them too? Okay. All right.
oh yeah, yeah. Like when they're sitting there and they think they see the executioner come down with the axe. And who does she run over to? She runs right over to Ron. Oh, and then Harry gets in there, and you see Ron just kind of look over. He gives him the like side eye, like, "Hey Potter, back off, all right, buddy." Like,
He got some side eye in there. Oh my god.
but you got that going on. And it's just like the whole time, every scene that someone's in where Harry's sneaking around and snooping and listening when he shouldn't. Um, Everyone's like, should we warn Harry? Should we warn Harry? Yes, but not yet. Well, why not yet? Like,
He's always standing around when there's important conversations being held. He's usually invisible or they
right,
think he's sleeping. But yeah,
right,
it's always within an earshot. Should
right.
we warn him?
We should, but not yet. I'd be jumping up, being like, warn me about what?
Exactly. Why not? Why are
Like,
you playing just dead? Wake up, man.
yeah. I mean, the ones where you're invisible, okay, you don't want to give up that you have the invisibility cloak. I get that.
Yeah.
But when you're lying there and they think you're asleep, I'm jumping up like, what?
Roll back over, roll over, and be like, "Hello, what's the problem here?" But he finds out anyways what they're talking about, and it's talking about how they all think that Sirius Black escaped from Azkaban, and he's out to kill Harry. That's his whole purpose. They find that he's over
Right.
at Hogsmeade. Then he makes his way into the castle. Then later you find out that Professor Lupin, lets him in the castle because they're friends.
Which that whole thing. So, two things.
Hmm.
One, they find out that Sirius is in the castle
Hmm.
when he does whatever to the painting, right? The
Cuts
painting,
up the fat lady. Yep.
right?
Mhm.
And she's now naked, hiding behind a cow or something like that.
Not
Uh,
naked. She's got the toga on like she had on before. She's just
and
behind
you
the
can't
cow.
tell
Oh
she's ducked
Jesus.
behind it, hiding. But
Okay.
anyway, so Sirius is in the school. He's here. So what do? We lock all the doors. We throw all the shutters up. We go on complete lockdown.
He ain't getting out now. Oh
Like,
man.
and then you just put all the kids in one big giant room, and they're all sleeping on the floor. Um,
They are.
and then the other thing that just didn't sit right with me.
Mm.
Um, why was Harry always off on his own with Professor Lupin? Like, it was an abnormal amount of times. Like, all of a sudden they're just standing there talking, and he just keeps here, has some chocolate, has some chocolate, has some very, very much creepy vibes.
Well, they started that from the beginning, right? They
Right?
established, Lupin saved Harry from the Dementor, and Lupin is the defense against the dark arts teacher, right?
Mhm.
So immediately he knows that Harry knows that Lupin knows how to fight these things and push them off of him and all that kind of stuff. So he's in his class, obviously, and and he knew his parents. So that's that other connection. He keeps growing closer to people who knew his family and knew him fondly, not didn't like him, whatever. Because obviously he still doesn't like Snape. Snape always has something negative to say about his family. Now, this is that time. Is Snape a good guy or a bad guy?
He hasn't done anything. He's
He's
still
still
good.
in the middle, right?
He's done nothing that
All right.
says this is a bad guy.
Okay. All
But
right.
but here's the thing, like he isn't just disappearing with Lupin, right? And they're by themselves. They're always like off sequestered somewhere. Like they're walking through the woods. It's not like they're in his office, right? If he shows up, he shows up, he's like, "Hey, Professor Lupin,
They're
how's it
on the
going?"
grounds. They're on the
He's
grounds
going
at
and
a
seeing them
school.
during office hours, right?
They're
And then
listen, maybe you don't understand how things work over there, right? And these boarding schools.
let me
You're
tell you.
off, you're
Yeah.
on, you get there's a
No, I
campus
understand how they work, sir.
and there's a place. You only have so much room to roam. You're not going to stay in the castle all freaking day and night. You're going to get out and roam around and walk around, get some exercise, get some fresh air in those lungs.
Mhm.
You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And how
Yeah.
about that tree? I think I'd be terrified if a tree came at me. Like if a tree
Yeah.
actually started swinging at me, I'd probably have a heart attack before I even got the first shot off.
That was crazy. But then you start to see the seeds of where Harry Potter is morphing into a psychopath. Okay?
Well, when he finds out about Sirius and that Sirius killed his parents, he's
He's my godfather,
yeah.
and
But
he
he
led
doesn't know.
Voldemort to my parents. When I see him, I'm gonna murder him. And that wasn't just like that was a full on rage. Let's go. This guy's gonna die. And so we're starting to go towards the psychopath area here with Harry. He's already murdered one man. He attempted to murder someone earlier, and now he's threatening to murder people.
You're not wrong. You
I
just
know I'm not wrong.
you said he said it. I agree. Now I have a question for you. Have you thought about maybe I don't know what the word is. You sent me something, what scener or something like that yesterday. I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
Maybe we should live stream one of these things and do reactions, but also it's got to be like a nighttime thing.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Incorporate some drinking, right? Every time they say
Yeah, yeah,
brilliant, just take a shot.
yeah. No, then we could definitely do something like that.
You
I'm
know,
100% in on that. There's a few people that I follow through some other avenues, and they were posting about this, and I was like, okay, this looks pretty cool. So
sit there,
definitely
have a drink
something.
or take a shot, just depending on the word they use, because they use a couple words multiple times throughout the movies. So you'll there's a lot of brilliant, a lot of obviously wizard is thrown around a ton. The first one you'd be smashed in like no time at all with
Yeah.
the wizard. But anyway, I mean, all in all, do you liked it? You got to get what else? I see you looking
Whoa,
down some notes. What do you
whoa!
got?
I got notes still, sir.
Okay,
Don't push me,
I
okay?
was watching the
Uh,
clock. I'm watching the
So
clock.
so you've got this wolf show. The wolf shows up again. The never-ending story wolf shows up again, and drags Ron under the tree. And so Harry and them, they end up getting in there after they ride the tree for a little while. They end up getting in there, and then you just have this confused, mass, awkward scene where Lupin shows up and Sirius. But
It's a great scene.
the crazy thing is like at that point in time, Sirius is acting like his wheels are shot off. Like he is very unstable, very out of control, very murderish, like very murdery there. Um, and then Harry just goes ape ass and makes his second attempt at murder in this. And if it isn't for the fact that they come in and exfoliate and get rid of his wand just before he does the deed.
Did you just say exfoliate?
Yeah, that's what were saying, right?
Harry Amos.
Yeah, same thing.
Jesus.
Um,
Exfoliate.
which I mean that was just thrown around so much there at the end. It was ridiculous. Like it, it's such a simple spell that everybody can do it.
I do have a question about that
Yeah,
too. When Sirius is there, Ron and Hermione and Harry are there, and finally Harry goes at him, grabs him by the throat,
yeah, full
somehow
psychopath
gets the
mode,
grown man to the ground in less than I don't know 5 seconds. I don't
dude.
know. Maybe he's just really weak from being in the prison. I don't know.
He
But
looked very weak, like,
frail.
and I mean Harry just came in with that grown man strength, like,
Harry's not a grown man.
yeah, but he had that strength coming at him, like he bull
That
rushed him, caught him
murderous
off guard,
rage.
just
That
you,
murderous rage got
you
him.
know
And
how
so
like
yeah,
you hear the stories of like the moms who can lift a car if their kids under it and things like that. You just get that extra gear. You just your brain just unlocks all your strength that you have. Yeah, he came at him like that. But then you find out, then he's trying to figure out what's going on. So instead of level-headed conversations, he just knocks Snape out. Like, get out of here, right?
well, Snape showed up to kill. He was going to actually kill or detain Sirius again. Well, Sirius been out of jail. He didn't want to go back, but they've already piqued Harry's interest so much now that he needed to hear the story. Like he needs to know what's going on, what the hell's going on. He zaps, Snape, throws him into the bed, the
Dude,
bedding or whatever. Just
again, more psychopath tendencies. You can't just be like,
attacks the
hold
teacher.
on, let's hear what's going on here, right? Like things are out of control. Everybody just take a breath. Let's de-escalate the situation. He escalates it even further. He takes it to 12. Like
He eliminates one person's conversation. He wants to hear the story from those
exactly.
two.
The
And
key phrase here, elimination. He's trying to eliminate people, okay? But they take him.
you got it out for this kid for some reason.
I don't have it out for him. He's a murderer, sir, and he's attempted 2 murders during this. So you find out that Ron's rat is really Peter Pettigrew, but then he gets away because Lupin's a werewolf, and so now the werewolf and the wolf are fighting each other, but this is all like just before, you know, Harry's sitting there talking to Sirius, and Sirius is like, I know I was I don't know if you know this, but I'm your godfather. I'm really the only family that you have. I don't know if you really want to. You don't have to live with them anymore. You can live with me. And Harry's like, oh, that sounds great. This guy doesn't have a home. He just he's still a prisoner in jail. So he's
He
going to
has
go
a
live
house.
with them in jail?
You'll see next time. He has a family home. Yeah.
He's been in jail for 12 years.
Yeah. You'll
So,
see.
so the house just sits there. Because if you go to jail for 12 years here and you own a house,
It's a family home.
and no one else is living there,
Mm.
they're going to put that on the market and sell it.
Well, maybe some people, sure, but yeah, he's got a family home. He's got elves and stuff like that live there and whatnot.
But
So
yeah,
you'll find out.
and Harry's like, "Oh, that sounds great. You're just trying to kill this guy 2 seconds ago."
I thought that today too. I was like, he just was about to kill this guy.
And if I'm serious, I'm like, this guy was just trying to kill me. Like, I don't know if I want him in my. He seems very emotionally unstable. This kid.
Oh my god.
And then you got Harry. He's going through, and he's dying, and the Dementors are attacking them. And then you see it like look off in the distance. At the time, it looks like a deer that comes to save Harry.
Mm-hmm.
A big bright light deer that Harry swears was his dad. But then you get the time travel element where they go back in time and all of that, and it was actually Harry. But before you have Harry do it, you've got the fact that Hermione has already talked to Dumbledore and said, only an extremely powerful wizard could pull off that spell, and it was Harry. And he knew he could do it because he'd done it before.
He'd already done it.
Not to that level though. Like cranked it up on that. But yeah, and then it all ends with no. Here's the other question: do they only play like one Quidditch game a year?
I mean, they're not going to put more than one in.
I mean,
why do you need to see 3 of them in a movie?
I'm just like, is there?
And they
like
don't care.
Quidditch
There's no rainouts or rain delays or thunderstorms or whatever.
No,
This isn't the LA Rams.
but did this one get canceled after the Dementors came in there, and Harry almost died and his broom got destroyed?
I
Like,
don't know. Did they keep it going?
and
That's my question.
the only thing, because Harry wakes up, and the only thing he's concerned about, he just almost died. Did we win the game? Who won? What happened? And then Ron shows him his broom that's in shambles, and then you end the movie with them breaking Sirius out. He leaves, and Harry gets a new broom from somebody, but there's a feather in there, so it came from his godfather Sirius.
I figured it was from Buckbeak. No, the horse didn't go out.
Send him. Well, I mean, he's got more of an option to have money because that's like a top of the line broom. This dude's been in jail for 12 years. Okay,
That thing's stolen.
Why is Harry so upset about the fact that his broom got destroyed? He's walking around with Jerry Jones money. We've seen his vault.
But he comes from nothing, so he appreciates the
Oh,
gifts. He appreciates what he has.
He's very affluent. This movie is about a affluent teenager getting away with murder and attempted murder, is what this is. Like he
You
breaks.
sound like a news station tagline right now. Like,
Let's go back to the beginning of the movie when Harry runs away and the night bus takes him. The minister of the magic
magic.
arts or whatever. He's there. He's like, "Oh yeah, don't worry. We took care of your uncle's sister. We brought her down. We brainwashed her. She's not going to remember anything. No one's going to remember everything. It's like nothing happened." And Harry's like, "Well, I broke the rules. Blah blah. Yeah. No, you're not going to Azkaban. No, man, you're good. You're Harry Potter, dude. You're not going anywhere."
You're gonna see something here. That guy is gonna turn on all of them here in a little bit. Like he's
Harry,
the
because he
minister of
already
magic.
has been. He's
No,
trying.
the minister of magic, you dunce. Not Harry Potter.
But
Oh,
yeah, that's really what these movies are about. A fluent teen getting away with murder doesn't have to follow the rules. He can do whatever he wants. He can do anything. He doesn't get in trouble because he's Harry Potter.
you heard it here, folks. Live reaction to after watching episode the number 3, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban by your pal Alan, the part-time nerd. Oh my
That's
god,
right.
what a way to cap that movie off.
I'm just telling you, that's what these are about. I'm excited about the next one. I'm ready to see what other crimes this guy gets away with. Like, does he murder again? Does he attempt more murders? Does he start like a racketeering business? Does he start like an underground casino? He can get away with all that because he's Harry Potter.
God, Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, number 4, coming up from 2005. Fanboy Fridays. Check them out.
They're lit. But hey, guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for the likes, shares, follows, subscribes, comments. If you got anything you want us to watch, send us an email, parttimenerdpodcast@gmail.com. We'll talk to you later. Deuces.